High Life is a movie. It's a science fiction film directed by Claire Denis. It's fresh on Rotten Tomatoes, and that was the thing that made me sort of go for this movie. Let me start by saying that this movie, I did not like it very much at all, and this review will be full of swearing. I'll explain why later. Essentially, Robert Pattinson plays Monty. He's raising this baby alone, and he's on this ship, and every day he's got to write down a journal in order to send to the main database or wherever to renew their life source, like the water, the oxygen. And then the film is mainly a collection of flashbacks about how Monty got on the ship, what he's doing there, what everyone else is doing. So this film owes a lot to Andrei Tarkovsky. Here, you can tell the influences there from the drab interiors, the sort of beige color scheme, even the flashbacks on Earth are very old school. You can definitely tell the influence. There's nothing wrong with that. However, the film is fiercely boring. The movie is just people milling about. We find out a little bit about everyone's past, why they're there. There's not much point into, the story itself, and the movie is really awkward and slow. It doesn't have the fantastical elements of Solaris or Stalker. This film instead has Juliette Binoche as the doctor lady. She's also with them. She's got a secret of her own. However, she goes into the basement of the ship of sorts, and there she finds a fuck room. There's no other way to describe this. It's a literal fuck room. Like, you go in there and the seat turns into a Sibian, and then all of a sudden there are hand straps for her to hold on to, and it's like a 2 to 3 minute self-pleasuring sequence, and then there's like a wolf fur or something that just comes out of nowhere. So I'm guessing this fuck room basically allows you to conjure up whatever fantasy you want, and then it cleans it up really messily after, and then the discharge is this weird discharge that comes out of the room. So Monty's the only character in the film who doesn't use it because he feels like it'll take away his essence of sorts. He's living a monk life while everyone else is using this pleasure dome. And the movie just doesn't really go anywhere. It's got it doesn't have the high stakes sort of life or death scenarios at all. The movie flashes forward a little bit to the end. The last sequence of the film is probably the most interesting, recalling, actual sci-fi adventure. However, the movie's over by then. So the film's acting is okay. Robert Pattinson does fine. A lot of the no-namers are okay, fine as well. Juliette Binoche is probably the best part of this film. She plays the doctor lady. However, this movie just doesn't have much of a point. It's really slow. It's long. That fuck room is just so weird. It's the most awkward part of the film, but probably the most interesting. So High Life is a movie that, promises to be this sort of indie sort of sci-fi gem, low budget, a few cast members. Squanders its premise. There isn't much of a story. So I give High Life a 2 out of 10.